Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
What if a player's silence is louder than the locker room shouting? This is Warriors News Fan Update, and what we're about to tell you might explain why the atmosphere inside the Golden State Warriors is more tense than ever, and how this could directly impact the next decisive game. After the painful loss to the Rockets, something changed. Sources close to the franchise reveal that Steve Kerr and his coaching staff are about to make serious changes to the starting rotation, and most surprisingly, one of the team's most iconic names might end up on a bench. But that's just the beginning. A name that had been forgotten in the rotation is back on the radar. Not by luck, by necessity. His performance in the last game was more than efficient, it was decisive. Crucial rebounds, clutch three-pointers, and 100% from the free throw line. In a series where every detail matters, this player reignited the spark of hope. But at the same time, another name, once seen as untouchable, seems disconnected. Absent from the bench, from practice, from the team spirit. Officially, he felt a strong headache. Unofficially, internal sources suggest there's something deeper. Maybe an emotional issue. Maybe an unresolved conflict. Whatever it is, this void has been bothering even the most loyal fans. And while the fans try to make sense of the puzzle, one truth stands out. The Warriors need bold decisions now. The rotation isn't just about who starts the game. It's about who is ready to finish it. Who defends with heart. Who steps up when the ball gets heavy. Who turns chaos into control. Kerr knows that. And according to a recent leak, the coach himself reportedly said in a closed-door meeting that there's a player on the roster he doesn't want to see on the team anymore. The phrase, which dropped like a bomb in the locker room, reignited speculation about possible trades and drastic roster shakeups after the playoffs. With young players hungry for a spot and veterans trying to stay relevant, the challenge is to balance the present with the future. And now, more than ever, every choice Kerr makes could be definitive. The lingering question is, who truly deserves to be on the court when everything's on the line? It's not just about stats. It's about attitude. It's about who still believes. If you want to keep up with everything happening behind the scenes of the Golden State Warriors and follow every step of this electrifying final stretch, leave a like and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Update. Here, we show you what's really happening behind the scenes of Dub Nation. But the story doesn't end there. As we approach Game 6, what's really at stake isn't just a spot in the next round. It's the spirit of a franchise that refuses to die silently. Stephen Curry, with his quiet yet relentless leadership, remains the soul of this team. But even he knows he can't carry it all alone. Not in 2025. Not with fierce competition and a roster still trying to find its true identity. The bench, once seen as a weakness, now appears as a territory of opportunity. Previously forgotten players have begun to show their worth. One of them, who had barely touched the ball this series, came in during the final minutes of the last game and simply changed the energy of the match. Aggressive defense, off-ball movement, the posture of someone who knows they're fighting to survive. That kind of attitude can flip a series. And can flip Steve Kerr's mind. The truth is, when pressure builds, talent alone isn't enough. You need commitment, focus, presence. You need to be mentally in the game, even when you're not physically on the court. And that's what's missing in some well-known names who, instead of guiding the younger guys, seem stuck in their own egos or frustration. Maybe the toughest change Kerr needs to make isn't tactical, it's emotional. Having the courage to bench someone who once had star status, and put in those who are hungrier, more energetic, more passionate. Because in the playoffs, the game changes. And sometimes to win, you have to change with it. The fans have already noticed. The tone on social media is different. Instead of desperation, many supporters seem more confident than ever. Why? Because they see what maybe even the coaching staff is still hesitant to admit. This team, with all its flaws, still has grit, still has options, still has soul. And that's what brings us to the turning point. The decision on who starts Game 6 might seem like just another lineup choice. But in reality, it will be a symbol. A message to the roster, to the fans, to the league, that the Warriors still have fire. That this dynasty isn't over. It's just reinventing itself. So, Dub Nation, hold tight. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this franchise, it's that you should never doubt the heart of a champion. If you want to keep following this battle, every detail, every behind-the-scenes moment, and every move that could change the fate of the Golden State Warriors, subscribe now to Warriors News Fan Update, turn on notifications, and come with us to the end of this journey. And as a Warriors fan, I have to be honest, this moment reminds me a lot of those times when everyone doubted us, and that's exactly when we showed what we're made of. But now the challenge is different. It's no longer about proving we have talent. That's more than clear. The real test today is about unity, maturity, and the courage to change. If I were in Steve Kerr's shoes, I wouldn't think twice. It's time to bet on those leaving it all on the court, not those living off their name or past. Some players, even without big media hype, are giving answers. They're fighting, defending, chasing every ball like it's the last. And that's the kind of energy you need when the season's hanging by a thread. The truth is, the magic of the Warriors has always been about collectiveness. It was never about one hero, but about 5 guys in sync, moving like one organism. And if one of them isn't in rhythm, no matter how talented, he needs to give up his spot. Game 6 isn't just a game. It's a test of identity. It's when we'll find out who still has the heart of a champion. And yes, I believe. Because as long as there's a Curry on the court, a hungry young guy on the bench, and a fan base like Dub Nation behind us, no one can bury us before our time. And you know what makes me believe even more? It's that this team has been up against the wall before. They've already heard the era was over, that the gas had run out, that it was time to tear everything down. But every time they tried to write off the Warriors, the answer came back stronger. Game 6 isn't just about surviving the series. It's about rediscovering the DNA that made this franchise special: intensity, intelligence, and above all, heart. It's time to set aside ego, contracts, status, and put on the court those who are truly ready to fight for every inch. If Moses Moody is the one showing willpower, effort, and solid defense, he deserves his spot. If another player, no matter how acclaimed, is emotionally disconnected from the team, then let him sit until he finds his focus again. We can't survive on reputation anymore. In the playoffs, every second counts as an entire season. And Steve Kerr must also be bold. He must have the courage to make the adjustment that maybe goes against the spotlight logic, but in favor of the soul of this roster. Because now it's not just about winning a game. It's about regaining respect. About showing the Warriors still have a voice in this league. We, the fans, are still here. Supporting. Suffering. Believing. Because we know, when this team is backed into a corner, that's when it plays its best basketball. That's when the impossible becomes just another obstacle that Dub Nation overcomes with grit and emotion. So if you're part of this Warrior Nation, hit the like button, subscribe here to Warriors News Fan Update, and comment below. Who do you think needs to be on the court in Game 6? Who should lead this comeback? The story is still being written, and maybe, just maybe, this is the most unpredictable chapter of all. Let's go together until the end. Go, Dubs. And you know what makes this moment even more special? Deep down, every fan feels that we're facing a turning point. Not just in this series, but maybe in the entire cycle of this dynasty. Because what's at stake isn't just advancing to the next round, it's the future of the franchise. It's the end of an era, or the beginning of a new one. Stephen Curry is still our guiding light, but he needs soldiers ready for war, not famous names lost in their own doubts. And that's what the coaching staff needs to see clearly now. Who's ready to sweat, fall, get up and play like there's no tomorrow? Because that's what Dub Nation expects. Not perfection, but effort, will, identity. When the ball goes up in Game 6, it won't matter who was drafted higher, who has more endorsements, or who's been an all-star. What will matter is who's really there, with their heart racing, eyes focused, and soul in every play. And if this roster can look each other in the eye, leave pride at the door, and play as one, as they've done so many times, then yes, anything is possible. The NBA has already learned that the hard way. So if you also believe in this turnaround, if you feel the Warriors still have an epic story to tell, don't miss a single chapter. Subscribe now to Warriors News Fan Update, turn on notifications, and come with us on this journey to the end. Now tell us in the comments, do you believe this team can still surprise us? Who should lead this comeback? Let's talk in the comments. Because this is Dub Nation, and we never give up.